All right, bonjour, and welcome to KBFT Virtual Music Fest interviews, sponsored by KBFT 89.9 FM, Boys Fort Tribal Radio, and the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. And we're here today with Steve Wood, one of the founding members of the drum group Northern Cree from Saddle Lake Cree Nation in Alberta, Canada. They have released a total of 37 albums and have 8 Grammy nominations during their career. They've traveled to the Grammy Awards to sing on the red carpet during the opening ceremony back in 2018. Steve Wood, welcome
Hey,
to
thanks,
Miigwech. Thank you for coming on here to share a little bit about you and a little bit about the upcoming performance with you this Saturday, April 17th, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone here on Facebook Live. And just to give our viewers a little overview of Northern Cree, can you tell us how your career in music began and how did the drum group start?
Oh, hey, thanks. Tamskatana Kakyo. How are you? I greet you all. Actually, my music career probably started when I was a small child in the community of Saddle Lake. My father used to run some of the ceremonies that would happen in the community, such as the powwows, the round dances, and we'd have different visitors. And back then, we didn't have television in the house. When visitors would come over, as is our nature as First Nations people, we share things with them, and usually food. So what would happen is my mother would prepare food for the visitors, and everyone would eat. And then later on in the night, my father would pull out the drum, and the men would sit around the drum and sing. And sometimes, if there was other children there, we'd all dance, and the whole night would come alive. So I think that's when it started, like way back when. And then with Northern Cree, well, as we got older with my brothers, we grew up. Like I said, around singing. My father was a singer. Um, with Northern Cree, we just happened to be around the drum, and there's a whole story to that about going to a hand game tournament. My dad was a devout hand game player as he got older, and we played hand games too, which is our traditional game. Um, and we had traveled to a place called Lapwai, Idaho, to play hand games and to meet up with one of my brothers down there. We didn't do so well the very first night, and it was a traditional powwow happening there along with the hand games. So we ended up, my brother who had lived around there, Earl, managed to get us a drum, and we set up for the weekend. And when the people, the arena director came over and asked what our drum group was. Well, on our drum, it said right there in these faded lettering, sort of like a rough paint job. It said Northern Cree. I said, and my brother Randy said, "We'll be this Northern Cree," and away we went. Never the rest is history. Who would have known it would have went to the places that it's gone to? Unbelievable. We're very fortunate to have had our drum take us to the many places it has, to have taken us to places where we've met countless individuals from various backgrounds. Very fortunate. And amazingly enough, 30 plus years, or uh, let's try about 40 plus years, close, eh? Uh, we're still going pretty strong. We got some projects coming up. In fact, this year we've been just at home like everybody else for the past year, but we got some good stuff coming out this summer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have an impressive background and an impressive, like just 8 Grammy nominations. How did those nominations come to be?
Well, actually, it's 9 Grammy nominations, and it just came unexpectedly. It wasn't something like we didn't go to start singing. Like I said, back when we were little kids, we didn't think about anything like Grammy awards or singing on that stage. It was just stuff that we grew up with, and who knew? Uh, Nobody knew uh,
Right.
that would happen. The drum, I always say, is matausu. That means it's powerful, and like it can take you to places you never even dreamed of. Because for us, like the first time that we got to go, that we were nominated was like a real shock, and we weren't even too sure what to expect. We weren't even too sure if we were going to go, and then we got these all of these tickets to these different events and whatnot, and lo and behold, a bunch of us were going, um, and we went down there, and the only time that I'd ever seen any of these music awards was on television. And of course, when I seen them, what were people wearing? They were all wearing penguin suits and these tuxedos and whatnot. So what did we do? Well, we went out and we got tuxedos and black shoes and whatnot. That first time, nobody spoke to us. We were invisible. That we just blended right in. Nobody talked to us and whatnot. And those, LA is pretty warm all year round. Anyway, it was pretty warm outside, and those suits were really uncomfortable, and the shoes were terrible, man. Walk around in those shoes all day; they were terrible. Um, so the next time that we went, and the guys were asking me, "What are you gonna dress up?" And I said, "I'm not dressing in that all day long again. No way." Uh, what are you gonna wear? I said, "I'm just gonna wear a beaded vest and a few other things, maybe a ribbon shirt." And the rest of them did the same thing. The very first party that we went to, um, that second time that we went, we were out on the patio of this. I think it was I can't remember what they call it, but some kind of a huge building, and we were out on the patio, and some of the guys were having a cigarette because people were smoking out there, and this young lady walked up to the biggest guy in our group and was just asking where he got his shirt from, because he was wearing a ribbon shirt that was actually made by some of the local ladies from our community. And here it was a lady by the name of Britney Spears, and she just came out right up to us, like and from then on in, we every time we go, we dress like us, like our people, and we're very proud to do so. Like yeah, and it's always like an eye catcher. I mean, the last time that we went, we wore some of us wore the headdresses that were bestowed upon us by the MHA people, and they were really eye catchers for sure. You know, we pulled up to the red carpet in a black limo. And the limo driver locks the doors as he pulled up to the carpet, and he says, "Wait, wait." I thought, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Wait." And the windows were all darkened out, and the ushers came up to the door, but the door didn't open, and they were looking through the window, right? They probably could see the feather hats, but I'm wondering who's in there and whatnot. And then about 5 minutes later, the limo driver says, "You guys are ready." And he unlocks the door. So a side door opened up, and those guys kind of stepped back and took a look at us. We step out, and there was a bunch of people on the red carpet going in. There was one lady standing there, and she had all these photographers around her. And then one of them turned around, he's seen us, and he comes over with all of his cameras, and he's telling people to step back. And pretty soon, all of them, like that whole, uh, all of those camera people were around us, and that the lady was standing out there. Um, and then the ushers came along and told them that we had to move along into the red carpet. And the lady turns around and talks to I think it was my son or one of the guys and asked that who we were and whatnot. And it was some young lady named I'm gonna butcher this name because I'm not too mainstream artist kind of guy. Hey, I'm an older guy, so I'm sort of like Waylon and Willie and the guys and things like that. But her name was Camila Cabello, or I think that was her name.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably in the same boat as you.
Yeah,
See,
she's some kind of big hip hop artist. Anyway,
okay.
it was pretty cool. Yeah, so like going in our own garb really stood out. I mean, we had people coming up on the red carpet
Mhm.
asking us to take pictures with us. I mean,
Mhm.
people like Cyndi Lauper,
Wow,
LL Cool J, and stuff like that, right? I mean,
that's
and I
awesome.
and I think like anytime that you're involved with anything like that, you have to be yourself. You know?
Bringing a taste of where
Yeah.
you're from to their community down there, and showing the indigenous pride that's up there,
Yeah.
and that's awesome that you guys presented it that way in a positive way, and it was just, I watched your guys' performance. It was amazing. Like I felt it.
Oh, if you felt it, we really felt it. Like, when we did that, I'm going to say the feeling that we had when we went back to the backstage to the dressing room, we were talking about it. It was like millions, billions of our ancestors were there with us. And it was unbelievable in that building. It was
Mhm.
like, wow. And, like for myself, like I'm not into the parties or anything like that. I'm sort of like an abstainer from drinking and I'm not perfect by any chance. I used to drink, but I don't go to those. So and I didn't go to the evening show after that. I went back to the hotel room and I went to bed and I was up early to call my wife the next day and I went onto our page and man I couldn't believe it. We had like over 6 million hits on our page just overnight.
Wow.
Wow. And I was scrolling through the comments and I remember this one comment just stands out like immensely in my mind. I'm in front of the screen with my 86-year-old grandma and we're holding hands and we're literally in tears. And I just thought, wow. I think like what it did, like not 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 just for us, but for all of our people was immense. It was like, it sent out messages that exactly what we think to the young people that you don't have to be anybody else. You can be yourself and you can aspire to great things.
Exactly. That's a excellent message. And I thank you for doing that, and representing indigenous people everywhere, in front of the world. So miigwech, thank you. And I'm just curious about how how the music was produced. 37 albums, probably more. What's the recording process like for Northern Cree?
We actually have like 40 some albums out now, and we have a couple that are on hold through a new record label called Buffalo Jump. And we have, like I said, we got some projects coming out this summer that we're working on. Um, but the whole process, like, is like, creating a song is a real gift. It's not everybody can do that. You have to have some kind of a. It's like anything else, like in any kind of sports. Some people have just athletic ability, others don't. Myself, like I'm not the greatest song maker, but I happen to be in a group where there are some pretty talented individuals, and you know, when the songs come, it's like a blessing. It'll be from different individuals in the group, and it's a real gift. And actually, we think that the songs are just we're just the messengers, and whatever's happening and whatever dynamics like spirituality, the creator, we're just a messenger of putting out that that song for healing, for good people, for good things to happen for people. Um, Over the years, like our membership in our circle has changed. Uh, all everybody like brings something else to our group, and that's why like we're not we're singers, because our whole unit has to work together. The song maker, the person who starts the song, everybody that sings in unison, the guy who keeps the beat, uh, everything has to click all together. It's like a team. Is what it is. There's no one individual. It's a number and it's a whole unit. Um, the songs like people can sit back and try to create songs. The best ones are the ones that just come out of a person's soul, right? Um, for us, like uh, there's a number of us that speak our language. I speak it. I read and write it, so I'm able to write the syllabics and whatnot. If you look at our CDs, we write in our language right on our CDs and stuff like that, right? Promoting our language as well to keep it alive as best we can, right?
Mhm.
Um, so everybody contributes, and at some point in time, everybody in that circle. Today we have like 17 members in our group. We usually travel with about 10, and the reason why we have 17 is most of us are career minded, and we have careers, so we can't always go. But you know, we try to travel with a minimum of 10, and that. But all 17 people have contributed a song one time or another, including our backup singers. Yeah, so everybody contributes to the group, right?
So, when you record to make these CDs, do you go into like a studio or do you self-produced? Um,
Recently, we used to all of our albums, the 40 some albums that you're talking about, were all produced and distributed worldwide by Canyon Records from
wow.
Phoenix, Arizona. And what we did there was sometimes they would come out to the location that we're at, excuse me, uh, to do the recordings. Or we would fly into Phoenix and go into the studio to do some of the round dance recordings and whatnot. Now, like I said, we're the next albums that are coming out. Our group will produce on our own. There's no middleman, and they'll be on all the platforms that are out there. We've become educated enough to be able to do that now, right? And still like hit all of the mainstream platforms and public as well.
Hmm. Yeah, music production is really something you can do on your own nowadays with the powers of the computers and software has made leaps and bounds.
Oh
But
yeah.
where can you find your music?
You
For
can you can find it online. If you want to order CDs, you can get them from www.canyonrecords.com, or you can, like I said, on all of the platforms, Spotify, anything that's out there will have our music that you can download. Okay?
or your website, right?
Yeah, our website as well, and we also have like just over the past few years, we've taken over our own YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Um,
Cool. And your website, Northern Cree 80.
that's how. Okay, we our website is www.northern.cree 82.
82.
Yeah, yeah, 82.com, and that's also attached to our online store for any kind of merchandise or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And just briefly, about the show this weekend, can you tell us um, what um, like what we can expect of the performance?
Well, we'll see. We'll see what we'll have, but I'm going to be probably joined by a couple of my younger brothers. Who knows? We might do something dynamic. anything will be dynamic. We'll sing some good songs and maybe play a little bit of flute music for you, play some round dance songs, some powwow songs, tell you a little bit about some stories, because really, like as First Nations people, we have an oral tradition, and storytelling is one of our fortes. Eh?
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And I know it's going to be great. Do you just want to close with some words of encouragement to anybody that's going through a hard time through the pandemic right now?
Well, every time that we get together on any of our live presentations, like we try to put forward the teachings that were given and shown to us as young people, as young Nehio people, which would be Cree people. Those teachings such as Nanahi Tamwin, good listening skills, obedience to your parents, to your grandparents and your teachers. Just stay to it, to have respect for self, respect for others, respect for everything around you. Tapatemuin, to do that with humility in a humble way. Sagituin, to have love for everyone around you. Wiatagusuin, to create happiness in your life. Nanaskumuin, not to forgive, to give thanks for everything that is given to you and the happiness that is created. Sitoskatuin, to support one another. Witsituin, to help one another. And a number of other teachings, but we try to put those forward. And I myself as an educator, I always tell young people, especially young First Nations people, no matter what tribe you are or where you might be in a location that is not, you don't have the easiness to a lot of the things that people have within cities or within urban areas. We say to you, if you believe in yourself, where you come from, who you are, your culture, your identity, more important, your language, it will take you to places you never even dreamed of. We know that for a fact.
Awesome words. And thanks again for talking to us today. And we're looking forward to the performance this weekend. And we will see you Saturday.
All right, looking forward to it. And I'll be on time this time. Okay.
All right, have a good one.
¿Cómo estás?
Yep.
Que me dicen